Winnie, where are you right now? Did you go out to buy that equipment Mr. Parker asked you to get earlier?
Hi, Nora. Yes, I did. I went out a couple of hours ago. I'm just on my way back to the office now, actually.
I see. Well, be a darling and pick me up some new lipstick on the way back, won't you? Wait, did I need some foundation too? I'm not sure. I was running low. Oh, yeah. I really like the look of the Channel perfume. They've been running adverts for on TV lately. Be an absolute sweetie and pick up a bottle, okay? Apparently, it's good for sleep. I've been reading all sorts of fascinating articles on sleep perfumes lately. Everyone's doing it.
Excuse me? Wait, can we just clear something up first? Are these company supplies? Surely we don't need any of this stuff for the office, do we?
What are you talking about? Of course we do. Haven't you heard? I'm going on a business trip to one of our branch offices tomorrow. Oh dear sweetie, where have you been? It's the talk of the office. I need them to take with me. So be an absolute doll and go shopping with me, won't you? Thanks.
Listen, Nora. Something tells me I'm not going to be able to claim for any of this stuff on company expenses.
To be completely honest with you, there is a chance you won't. But there's a chance you will, so enough with the questions. Just buy them, okay? Once I'm back from my business trip, I'll fill out the form to claim the money back on expenses. Just get them for the time being, okay? We can iron all these minor details when I'm back.
No way! These aren't minor details. Just hold on a second. You're asking me to pay for something with my own money that there's a good chance you won't be able to get back on the company expenses. And I can't do that. In actual fact, we haven't gotten back a single cent from anything I bought you, ever! All of your expense claim applications get rejected. I wouldn't necessarily mind that if you actually paid me back yourself. But you don't, do you? You never do. My money may as well be disappearing into a black hole with you. Not only that, but the stuff you asked me to buy isn't exactly cheap, is it?
Take a chill pill, sweetie. My husband is the CEO, you know that. All I have to do is say the word, and he'll see to it that we get everything back on company dime. But hey, even if we don't, is it really that important? I don't see what the big deal is.
How can you not see what the big deal is about making me buy you all your makeup and accessories with my own money all the time? Are you for real right now? You will pay me back, won't you? Ever since I joined this company 5 years ago, I haven't seen a single cent of the money I spent on favors for you. Just this one time, honey, you say, I'll pay you back later, you say, and you never do.
Oh, Winnie, my dear, why do you have to be so petty? It's hardly like you're breaking the bank, is it? You should be grateful for the opportunity to show some gratitude for all the things that I've done for you over the years.
That's not something that you force people to do. If I want to show you your gratitude, I'll do it on my own terms. And you've got some nerve to try and downplay the amount. It might not seem like much each time, but it adds up. You've been doing this for 5 years now, you know? You will give me all the money back, won't you? You do plan on doing what you promised, right?
You can be so annoying sometimes. Enough of this petulant whining. Just go and buy me the things I asked for. If you dare answer me back one more time, I'll have you fired. My husband is the CEO. The CEO! Do you hear me? Do you even understand who you're messing with here? You do not want to be in my bad books. I promise you that, little missy.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
If you understand the gravity of the situation, I suggest you buy me my things immediately. Off you go now, my subservient little lipstick slave. I have too much on my plate to be worrying about the likes of you right now. I have a business trip to prepare for after work. You do not want to make someone as important as me wait. Hurry up and get back to the office with my things ASAP.
You can rush me all you like. I'm not even anywhere near the store yet.
If you're not back at the office within the next 3 seconds, I'll triple today's workload as a punishment. 1, 2... Oh, what a shame. There goes the rest of your day.
What the heck? Are you a child? Wait, when you say triple my workload, you mean you're gonna palm your work off onto me, don't you? Why must you always act like this? There's always some made-up reason why I have to do your jobs. Why can't you just do your own work for a change instead of forcing it onto me? I do unpaid overtime every single day because of you. I heard you do it to other people on my days off, too. You force your entire workload off onto some poor sap and go home before you're supposed to every single day. You're out of control, you tyrant! Please, just stop this! I'm begging you, seriously. You have no idea how stressed out I am because of how you treat me at work.
I'm a tyrant now, am I? How could you be so horrible? I've never spoken to you so cruelly in my life. Oh my. Whatever did I do to deserve this? Can't you see I'm doing this for you, Winnie? I want to see you grow and develop as an employee. The only reason I test you more than the others is because I see hidden potential in you that I don't see in anyone else.
What?
Besides, you left college, 5 years ago now? You're well past the age of where you can beg for things to get your way. You're not in elementary school anymore, you know. Sometimes you just can't get your way, no matter how much you don't like it. That's just the world we live in, sweetie. And you'd do better to accept that sooner rather than later.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea how much I'm struggling with all this. The unpaid overtime, being forced to buy you things practically every week.
If you don't like it here, you're free to resign whenever you want. Oh, you're replaceable. There are a number of employees I could enslave instead of you. All it would take is one word from me to my husband, the CEO, and you'd be out of a job before the day was up. How does that sound? If you don't want to lose your job, I suggest you start obeying me and stop giving me back chat, young lady. You're my slave. Make sure you never forget that. Oh. You better not slack off while I'm away on my business trip either. I'll know if you do. I have eyes and ears everywhere at this company. Do your job properly, slave girl. Damn it, Winnie! Where the hell are you? You get your ass back to this office right now!
Oh, hi Nora. Welcome back. How did the business trip go?
Forget that. What the hell do you think you're playing at? It was you, wasn't it? You're the one who made a huge mess of my desk and locker! You took my personal belongings home with you, didn't you? Don't bother denying it. I know. You will pay dearly for this unless you get back to the office immediately and give me a good explanation for why my desk and locker are in such a sorry state. I'll tell my husband if you don't. I swear I'll do it.
I mean, you can ask me to come back to the office if you like, but it won't get you anywhere. I resigned yesterday.
Huh? Wait, say what now?
Said I left the company yesterday while you were away on your business trip.
You resigned? Why would you do such a thing?
Do you remember who said, if you don't like it here, you're free to resign whenever you like? Oh yeah, I seem to remember it being you. You threatened to have me fired by tattletaling on me for a load of made-up nonsense to your husband if I didn't obey you. I had no intention of doing what you said, so I just left before you could have me fired. Ugh, I was so sick of your tyranny. I asked myself, is this job really worth it? And no matter which way I looked at it, the answer was no. I'm using up the rest of my paid holidays now, so I will never go back into the office again. Thanks for everything, Nora. It's been real memorable. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, no, you don't. I will not excuse you. We are not finished here, young lady. You took my things from my desk and locker, didn't you? Give them back!
Wrong. Everything I took home from the office belonged to me. As for your desk and locker, the only things I took from them were the beauty and fashion accessories you forced me to buy with my own money. That you never paid me a cent back on. In short, my property. You see, I've been making a real long list over these last 5 years of all the items you had me buy you. I took everything I could home with me on the day of my resignation. You're not confused about anything here, are you? You do understand that any and all of the items I paid for are my property, don't you?
No, this isn't how this works. I'm the one who asked you to buy them. You bought them from me, and they're mine. Give them back, you low-life thief. One word from my husband about this, and you'll be in court for stealing company equipment.
That's where you're wrong. The only thief here is you. You stole everything because it was me who paid for it. You've got some nerve to claim any of it as your own. Do I look like a charity? I'm not exaggerating when I say you are the most selfish person I've ever met.
What are you talking about? Those things were in my desk. And my locker. How could they not be mine?
Because I was lending you them temporarily. Oh, I know borrowing your locker space like that for all this time was a little cheeky of me. I'm so terribly sorry. But oh well. No use crying over spilt milk, right? Now, if you'll excuse me.
No, you will wait, young lady! This is not a conversation you get to end when you feel like it. Quit trying to justify stealing from me with your far-fetched arguments and twisted logic. Stop making me repeat myself and just give me back the stuff you stole already. I'll have my husband take you to court if you don't.
How many times do I have to tell you that they were never yours to begin with? I mean, I guess I don't necessarily mind giving you them back. It's not like I have any use for any of this stuff. However, there is one teeny tiny little condition if I do give you it. I'll be sending you a bill for $10,758. That should just about cover all the money I've spent on you during these last 5 years of forced servitude.
What? $10,758? Why? Surely there's no way it cost that much. The stuff on my desk and locker can't have amounted to anything more than a single plastic bag.
Oh, dear, what are you talking about, Nora? Did I not just say the money for everything I spent on you during these last 5 years? That's how much money you forced me to spend since you became my boss.
What? Is it seriously that much? That can't be! There's just no way!
I was surprised too. But when you actually think about it, it's not that hard to believe. The makeup you forced me to buy, the dinners you forced me to accompany you on and pay for. When I got all my old records and receipts together, added it all up, and realized I'd hit the 10K mark, my eyeballs almost popped out of their sockets.
But still, $10,758?
Don't worry, I don't mind if you can't pay. That just means I get to keep everything I bought. Feel free to take me to court if you think you can win. You might want to consider that decision very carefully, though, because I have mountains of evidence for the unpaid debt you owe me.
Evidence? What evidence?
I have receipts for everything, not to mention our entire chat history, which includes your voice messages. Silly old me, actually believing you'd pay me back one day. Kept hold of receipts for every purchase, thinking I'd make it easier for you when you finally decided to pay me back. But you know what? Something tells me you have no intention of paying up, so I'm just gonna send you the bill now.
You'd really demand I pay for things from that long ago? Can't we just let bygones be bygones? This is ancient history, for crying out loud! You coward! You tyrant!
That's funny. It seems more to me like the one who palms off her work onto her subordinates and forces them to buy her fashion accessories, makeups, dinners, refuses to pay a single cent of it back, and uses her husband's position of authority at the company as a tool to treat people as her personal slaves, is the only cowardly tyrant here.
Whatever! There's still no way I can afford to pay $10,758. Not all on my own.
Don't worry, I have the perfect idea. Just ask your husband to pay for it. You seem to love bragging about your super powerful CEO husband so much that I'm surprised you didn't think of it yourself. Anyway, I'll be putting together the invoice and bringing it over to your place real soon, sweetie.
What? No! I can't ask my husband! I just can't! He'll get mad at me if he finds out I owe that much money!
I think you'll be lucky if it stops at him just getting angry. It'd be a shame if he decided to take more drastic measures, don't you think? Oh, yeah, all this talk of your husband reminds me. But for some reason, among the mountains of documents you forced me to complete at the office over the years, there were some photos of you.
Photos of me?
I think you might have mixed up some of your private photos with your work files. But you wouldn't believe what they were of. There were tons of photos of you with some young, muscle-bound hunk. Looked like you were in some kind of private swimming pool under the moonlit sky. Ah, so romantic. Looks like you had a blast. With you in your bikini, him in his shorts, with you and your hand on his huge, muscled chest.
Wait, no!
You know what the weirdest thing is? The date on the photos is the same day as you went on your business trip. And the photo location is listed as a hotel close to the company branch you visited. Weren't you supposed to be there for work? I wonder what you could have possibly been doing letting loose in the pool like that with Mr. Hunk. But the biggest question here is, what's your husband going to think? That young guy in the photos definitely doesn't look like the CEO. Oh no, it couldn't be. Are you two? What's wrong, Nora? Cat got your tongue?
No, wait. You've got this all wrong. Those photos had nothing to do with my work files or the business trip. I must have put them in there by mistake. Those are my private photos, and you have no right to them. Give them back at once.
Okay, if you insist. Here's what I'll do. When I come over and give you the invoice for the $10,758 you owe me, I'll hand the photos over to your husband.
Oh, please, you can't do that. Anything but that. Stop this at once.
Stop this at once? Is that an order? A request? I really can't tell. Here's the thing. You're not my boss anymore. So I don't think I have to listen to a word you say. If that was an order, I think you know where you can stick it.
It was a request. I'm begging you. Please, don't give my husband those photos. I'm seriously begging you here. If he sees them, he'll divorce me. If it's money you want, I'll pay anything. Please stop this.
Oh, so you're begging me, huh? Hey, Nora, do you remember that time I asked you to stop bullying me and treating me like your personal slave? What was that you said again? Go on, remind me.
I'm not sure I remember.
Well, you're way past the age where you can beg for things to get your way. You're not in elementary school anymore. Sometimes you just can't get your way, no matter how much you don't like it. That's just the world we live in, sweetie. And you do better to accept that sooner rather than later. I'll be dropping by your place tomorrow. See ya! The next day, as promised, I made my way to Nora's house with her fashion and makeup accessories and the invoice for the money she owed me. In one last desperate attempt, she tried to snatch the bag off of me while she thought I wasn't paying attention. But I didn't let my guard down for a second, and after eluding her sudden lunge with a well-timed dodge, handed over the evidence of Nora's reign of terror and the invoice to her husband. He was mortified, and after recovering from the shock of finding out what had been going on, he apologized profusely to me and promised to make his wife pay every last cent of what she owed. Next, after finding out about the affair and how his wife had been using his position at the company as a shield to abuse her subordinates, he demanded a divorce and a hefty sum in compensation. When news of all this reached the office, Nora's other victims finally felt emboldened enough to speak out about the campaign of abuse she'd subjected them to. After being taken to court, she received a disciplinary discharge from the company. In one devastating swoop, she lost her job, her savings, and even her home. She returned in hopeless desperation to her parents' house, a shadow of her former self. I wonder what she thought would happen. I immediately found work at another company after my resignation, and I'm currently working as hard as I can, surrounded by the greatest bunch of colleagues and boss I could ever hope for. It'd be great if I had a boyfriend too, but I guess I'll have to wait a little longer on that one.
Lori, do you have a moment to chat with me? I have something that I need to discuss with you.
Oh, hello, Hannah. Yeah, I have some time to text right now. What is on your mind?
I just wanted to confirm that you would be coming to visit next month, is that right?
Yeah, of course. We're all going to go over to your house for your birthday. I was going to go with Jack.
I see. Well, I knew that Jack was going to be there, but I wasn't sure if you were intending to go as well.
Ah, I see. Well, yes, I was going to go and celebrate your birthday.
You know, I think that I should know since I used to be in your shoes, but you don't really want to come over and have to spend time with your in-laws, right?
Oh? Sorry. Is that how you think I think of you guys? Because I was actually looking forward to it.
Come on. You know that you don't have to say that just because I'm your mother-in-law, right? I know how this works. You're my daughter-in-law, and you would rather not have to spend time with me if you don't have to. So, I just wanted to let you know that it's okay. You don't have to come over for my birthday, okay?
I'm sorry, Hannah. I'm really not trying to just be polite or anything. I really did want to go with Jack to your house for your birthday party.
Oh dear. I don't know why you insist on keeping up this little act. I used to be someone's daughter-in-law too, you know. I get it. You don't have to put on airs for me. I know how you really feel about all of this, okay? So please, don't force yourself to go with Jack if you don't really want to. I'll be just fine if only my son comes over on my birthday. I really mean that.
I promise you that I would not force myself to go to your birthday if I didn't want to. I mean, I've even bought you a present for the occasion. Like I said, I really have been looking forward to this.
Well, I am very happy that you want to do what you think you have to in order to celebrate your mother-in-law's birthday. But I really will be just fine if it's only my son who comes over on that day. Do you understand?
I'm sorry, but I don't really understand. I was planning to be there and I don't really see any reason why I wouldn't go.
Lori, I understand why my husband and son would want to come over and celebrate with me. After all, they're my family. But none of that really has anything to do with you at all when you think about it. I mean, we're not family. So why would you bother to come?
I don't get what you mean. How could you say that you and I aren't family?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I just plain don't want you to come over and celebrate my birthday with the rest of us. I really would prefer if you just stayed home on that day.
So, you're saying that you don't even want me to be there on your birthday?
Exactly. But this means that now you just gained a whole day that you thought you were going to have to waste on me. So you see, it really is a win-win when you think about it. So let's just not waste each other's time any more than we have to.
I don't understand. How could you be asking me not to go on your birthday? I don't even know what I would say to Jack that would get him to go along with that.
Oh, really? Well, I guess I'm just a bit shocked that I'm having to spell all of this for you in the first place. After all, what a good daughter-in-law needs more than anything is tact. You need to know when you should and shouldn't be interfering in your husband's family business.
I am still really confused. Have I done something to upset you, Hannah? I know that we don't get along fabulously, but I didn't realize that you were so averse to even having me around. I just don't even know what to say to all of this right now. I'm quite blindsided.
Oh dear. It isn't that I hate you or anything like that. I just don't want to have to deal with my son's wife on my birthday. In fact, if I can be honest with you, I still have no idea how it is that my son even ended up with a woman like you in the first place.
Oh, I didn't know that you felt that way. What kind of daughter-in-law were you hoping for, if I may?
Well, at the very least, I thought that Jack would know better than to marry someone from a poor family like yours. Did you really think that you would make a good fit for my son, who works in one of the largest companies in the world?
So then, the problem isn't with me, it's with my family. Am I getting that right?
When you and Jack got married, I heard a little rumor about you and your family. I heard that one time, your family was poor that they had to ask relatives to look after you for a while. I've never heard of any family doing that to their own daughter. But your parents were literally so poor that they couldn't even afford to take care of you.
I mean, yes, I did go to live with my grandparents for a few months when I was younger. But it's only because my mom was in the hospital, and my dad was away on a business trip, so I didn't have anyone else who could take care of me.
But it is also true that your family was just very poor and didn't have the money to take care of you, isn't that right?
I mean, yes, it is true that my family was not super wealthy when I was little.
And that's why I'm so worried about you being married to my son, you see. I just want to make sure that you haven't only married him for his money.
Of course I haven't. I would never do anything like that, I swear.
Is that so? Because given how old you are, I wouldn't put it past you. A woman like you going after a man like my son. It just doesn't seem right.
Hannah, please. You have to know that I am not after Jack for his money at all. I promise you that I'm not.
Yes. Well, you can send all the message and say whatever you want, but that's just what someone doing what I think you might be would do anyway, right? Anyways, at the very end, I've decided that if I don't like it, then I don't have to see you. So if you're not going to leave my son, then the least you can do is leave me alone.
Hannah, can you please let me in the house? It is pouring out here, and I'm already soaking wet.
I thought I told you that a girl like you needed to learn some tact, didn't I?
What does that have to do with anything?
I thought I made it clear that I didn't want you coming over at all, didn't I? You really need to work on your reading skills if you didn't get that. I have to say, I'm quite surprised that you're this tenacious in the first place. After all, we are quite far from your home, but I already warned you not to come. So if you chose to listen to me, then that is on you. I told you that I didn't want you bothering me or my family.
But I already paid for the meal today. I don't get how you aren't going to let me in after I've already paid.
You think I care if you already paid for your meal for the day? That's not my problem at all. In fact, if you really wanted to help celebrate my birthday, you could have done so by not coming at all.
But Jack insisted that I come. He was the one who dragged me along even though I tried to tell him that I wouldn't. You really think that he's going to let you do this to me when he realizes how late I am?
Oh, you don't have to worry about Jack at all. You see, I told him that you reached out to me to tell me that you suddenly felt very ill.
And you really think that Jack is going to fall for something like that when he saw me this morning?
Of course he will. And anyways, he won't even notice that you're gone once we start talking and having fun. Like I said, I only wanted my family around, and I get what I want.
I don't understand, Hannah. Why are you treating me like this? Why can't I be a part of the family as well?
Because you're just not. You're not a part of the family, and you never will be. You're poor, and you always will be poor, and I'm not going to let you drag my family down to your level. But don't worry. If we have any leftovers, we'll be sure to leave them in the fridge for you. After all, I'm sure a poor little girl like you is used to eating other people's scraps. What in the world do you think you're doing? Why are you calling me so much? You are not going to be let into this house, no matter how many times you try and beg me. I told you that I'm not going to let some outsider like you ruin my precious family time.
Oh, you have got to give me a break. How dare you talk about your own daughter-in-law that way? Just let me into my damn house. And you go and wait outside until we're all done eating.
Excuse me? How dare you talk to me like that? Just who do you think you are?
I think that I'm your husband, Hannah. And I've already heard all about what's going on from Lori. I am just so shocked and disappointed in you. How could you do this?
Wait, but why are you texting me from her phone? This doesn't make any sense. What is going on here?
Well, the horrible wind and rain outside. I just stepped out of the house to try and collect some of our plotted plans to bring them in. Now, you had told me that Lori had to go home with a nasty stomach bug, but there she was, trying to hide under our awning. I asked her what she was doing here, and she told me all about what you've done. What is the matter with you, Hannah?
Wait a second. You mean to tell me that you went outside in this horrible weather? What if you slipped or got blown over?
You think I want to talk about the weather right now? We are talking about Lori. How could you do this to your own daughter-in-law? I just don't understand how you could do this.
Please don't talk to me like that. I didn't mean to be cruel. I can explain everything.
Oh, really? And just what excuse are you about to pull out of your butt this time?
It's not excuses, I swear. You see, the thing is that Lori has been being rude to me for quite some time now, and well, I just thought that showing her that her actions have consequences might have fixed her attitude.
Is that really the best you can come up with?
But it's the truth. Yes, I was being a bit rude to her today, but it's only because she was insisting on coming.
I know that isn't true either. Lori showed me past text conversations with her. You even made fun of her family, Hannah. I know how you were putting her down for coming from a poor family, but you do know that her family isn't poor anymore, right? Not only are they successful, but it's proof of the hard work they've done throughout their lives.
Hold on a second. This is all just a big misunderstanding. I wasn't trying to make fun of her or her family at all.
You said that you didn't want her to drag our family down with her poverty. I really had no idea that you were even capable of coming up with such horrible things to say to someone.
Please, this is all a mistake. You've got this all wrong. I swear it, Paul.
What did I get wrong here? What could you possibly have to say for yourself about all this?
Well, don't you think that's strange? How did our son end up with a woman like her? I have worked too hard and too long for Jack's sake for him to end up with a girl like Lori.
So the truth finally comes out. At least you're not lying anymore. But that really is the last straw for me. I'll have you know that I think Lori is a wonderful and very kind person. In fact, I'm grateful that she would even want to marry Jack.
You're grateful that her and Jack are together? How can you say something like that, Paul? What is there to be grateful about at all with her?
What are you talking about? There's plenty to be grateful for. I mean, sure, our boy might not have a great job, but we both know how shy he is. He had never even dated a girl before Lori came around. I thought that we'd never get grandkids in our lifetime.
But I mean, don't you think that you're not giving Jack enough credit? Our boy is a great catch, and any woman would be lucky to be with him.
Maybe so, but if I'm being too critical, then you haven't been critical enough. I mean, even Jack himself told me that he thinks of it as a miracle that he met and married Lori. And you know what? Nothing you could do would ever come between them. For all your efforts, they are still dedicated to each other.
I don't know what has gotten into you, but I do know that Lori must have tricked you two somehow.
I just don't even know what to say to you anymore. But if you really dislike Lori that much, why don't you just leave? Because as far as Jack and I are concerned, we'd much rather have Lori around than you.
What? You can't be serious. This is just ridiculous. You're really going to choose her over me? Lori, please tell Paul to let me back in the house. The rain is really coming down, and the wind is blowing it right on me.
I'm sorry, but Paul told me that he didn't want anyone to disturb this time with his family.
You little brat! You're in my home, you know. How dare you talk to me like that? I want you out of there. I want you out right now.
I'm sorry, but I really don't think that you seem to understand the situation. Paul let me in the house and he asked you to leave. You're the one who isn't wanted here. Don't you get that?
No, this can't be happening. I refuse to accept this. How could my son and husband betray me like this? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I'm the heart and soul of that entire house.
Are you serious about that? I'm sorry, but no matter how you look at it, your husband is much more vital to holding this family together. In fact, if I were you, I would just follow his lead and stop acting up before you get into more trouble.
I still can't understand what went wrong. Paul is normally so quiet and reserved. He's never talked to me the way he was earlier.
Well, it sounds to me like you mistook his silence with apathy, when he was really just a man having his patience tested. Although, I do have to say that I really didn't even know that Paul liked me as much as this. So I was very happy to know that it was only you who felt this way about me.
I have just had about enough of all of this. You really think that a poor little nobody like you is going to get away with tearing apart my family like this? Why don't you just go back home to our poor parents and your tiny house and leave us all alone?
There you go again, insulting me. I really would have thought that you would at least learn to stop doing that. And just what is it that you have against my parents anyways, huh?
I already told you, I hate you and your family because you're all poor. And you're just trying to jump ahead in life by clinging on to my family through my son. But if I could, I would crush your whole family and wipe them off the face of the earth for trying that.
Wow. That is just violent.
Well, of course it is. You're trying to sink your claws into my son and husband and tear my family apart. You think that I'm just going to let you get away with this?
I think you should know that your son and husband are actually reading these texts. And Paul is not happy about any of what you're saying. You've really let down your family, Hannah.
Wait, what? You mean you've been showing them our messages? Why are you doing that? Please, can't you just let me inside so that we can talk about this?
Why would we do that when it's clear that you haven't learned anything this whole time? We are all just sick and tired of the way you've been acting. None of us want to deal with you. Especially Paul. I do not think that he is as willing as Jack and I to let you get off without being punished.
Hey, Lori. Isn't it time for you and Jack to be heading home soon? I really would like it if you could let me inside. I'm completely soaked from head to toe, and I'm literally shivering. It's so cold.
Tell me, have you thought about what you did and why it was wrong?
Yes, I've thought a lot about my actions, and I should have never been treating you the way that I was treating you. So I want you to know that I am very sorry, Lori.
What am I going to do with an apology from you? I don't need something like that.
So then, does that mean you forgive me?
Of course not. I only said that I didn't need it because you're too late. I am not going to forgive you, and even your husband is saying that he wants a divorce from you.
Wait, what? He can't be serious about that. Why would he do that?
I guess she is just really let down by the way you've been acting. I mean, just earlier you were still insulting my family. I don't know why you thought that you would win any points when you are already in so much trouble.
But he can't leave me. I don't want to get a divorce. This can't be happening. Please. I said that I was sorry.
Well, I don't think that saying sorry to me is going to fix much of this for Paul.
But can't you tell him that you've forgiven me? Can't you tell him that we'll put all this behind us? Please. We've been married for decades. Our marriage can't just end like this. I can't lose my husband and son all in the same day. Can't you see what you've already won? Why do you have to kick me when I'm already down? Why can't you just help me this once?
I am trying to tell you that this is all out of my hands now. Even if I said anything to either of them, they've already made up their minds about you. So your only option now is to pack up all of your things and find a new place to live.
Wait. No. Please, you can't do this to me. Please convince Paul to stay with me. I can't lose everything like this at my age. He can't leave me like this.
You're really not just reading my messages at all, are you? What I don't get is why you think that I would say even a word in your defense after what you've done. I tried to make things work between us. I wanted to be friends. But no matter what I tried, you refused to even put in the effort to make it work. Jack and I are going to be going home now, but it sounds like you and Paul still have a lot to talk about. Just know that after this, you are never going to see Jack or I ever again. We never want anything to do with you ever again, got it?
I can't believe this is happening to me. I never wanted things to go like this. This isn't what was supposed to happen.
After that, Paul and Hannah did end up getting divorced, and Hannah had to move out and find a place to live on her own. She did come back and begged Paul to let her back in several times, but each time he turned her away. Hannah had never really worked in her life, being a housewife ever since Jack was born. She also hardly had any savings of her own to speak of. I'm sure that moving out and having to earn her own money was quite the lifestyle shift for her. I hear that she's working a few part-time jobs at once and still barely managing to make ends meet in her tiny apartment. I even heard that Hannah ended up taking out several loans to try and keep her afloat, and that now she is up to her neck in debt. I have no idea how she is ever going to dig her way out of this hole she's made for herself. On the other hand, my life got much easier after Hannah was out of the picture. I was able to spend a lot more time with Paul and get to know him. Jack and I go over to his house regularly to have lunch or dinner with him. I actually have still never even seen Hannah since the last night we were talking, but I've sworn to myself to take care of Paul as best as I can. I know that what happened with Hannah wasn't easy on Paul or Jack, but I'm just glad that they've been so supportive of me, just like I've tried to be there for them. I may have taken a while, but I finally feel accepted into the family. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.